Okay, so have you ever noticed this, like, you finally get that thing you've been wanting, that new gadget, or you go on that, dream vacation, you get that promotion, whatever it is, and you're like, so excited.
Right.
But then it just kind of it wears off, the shine wears off.
Yes, it does. It does.
And you're like, wait, I thought this was going to be it.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, that's hedonic adaptation.
Okay.
That's what we call that.
So we're diving into that today.
Yeah, it's a powerful thing.
It is. It is.
It really is.
And we're looking at this article, Hedonic Adaptation, the invisible treadmill we're all running on.
That's a good one.
And I think we can all relate to this.
Yeah, I think so.
So this idea that it's like a treadmill, you're running and running, but you kind of end up
in the same spot.
Emotional.
Yeah, so maybe we can start.
Yeah.
Can you give us like a clear definition of what this is? So hedonic adaptation is essentially our brain's ability to adjust to new circumstances.
Okay.
So that could be good circumstances or bad circumstances.
Oh, interesting.
And it kind of brings us back to this like baseline level.
Okay.
So if something really exciting happens or we get a new possession.
Right.
We have that initial excitement, but then our brain kind of like
adjusts,
back down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why is that? Like, why do our brains do that?
Well, from an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense because, back in the day, our ancestors needed to be alert to danger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They couldn't just be like blissed out all the time.
Right.
So their brains needed to adapt quickly to changes in the environment.
Okay, so it was more about survival.
Right, exactly.
Not necessarily
long-term happiness.
Yeah, constant happiness.
Right. It was more like, okay, this is good. This will help me survive, move on.
Wow, that's so fascinating how, like, our ancient biology is still, like...
That's still with us.
Affecting us today.
Absolutely.
So how does this actually play out in our lives today?
Yeah. So, okay, think about getting a new smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
You know that feeling when you get the brand new?
It's so exciting.
Yes.
That new phone smell.
Yes.
All the new features, everything.
So it's like the design, it just,
It's like a little reward, right?
It is.
You've been wanting it and you finally got it.
Yeah.
But then what happened?
But then you get used to it.
Yeah.
The novelty wears off.
Totally.
And it just becomes
just your phone.
Your phone, exactly.
Like any other phone.
Right.
So our brain's kind of like preventing us from just like...
Yeah, like being too happy for too long. It's bringing us back down.
So is this like with everything?
Pretty much, yeah. It applies to so many experiences.
Not just like buying stuff.
No, not at all.
Okay, so what are some other examples that we might see in our lives?
So like think about all the streaming services we have.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
There's so much.
Endless entertainment.
Endless, but yet...
We're still scrolling.
Yes.
Like looking for something.
Always looking for the next thing.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
So is that part of this?
Yeah, the article calls that the abundance paradox.
Okay.
It's like we have all these choices, but it doesn't actually make us happier.
It's almost like it makes us less happy.
It can, yeah, because we get overwhelmed and we get decision fatigue.
Wow, that's so interesting.
It's counterintuitive, right?
It is. You think, oh, if I just had all the choices, I'd be happy.
I know.
But it's not that simple.
It's not.
Okay, what about social media?
Oh, yeah.
Does it play into this?
Big time. So think about getting, like,
likes.
All those likes on a post.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It does. It does.
It gives you that dopamine.
Yes. You feel validated.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, people like me.
Yeah, you feel connected, but then your brain adapts. And you need more and more to get that same feeling.
Oh, wow.
So you're constantly chasing that validation.
Like on this treadmill.
Yeah, on the treadmill, and it's never enough.
It's never enough, yeah.
And, it taps into this deeper need, like we want to belong.
Right.
We want to feel worthy.
Yeah.
And social media kind of like plays on that.
I see. It gives you that little taste.
Yeah, a little hit.
But then it's like...
But it's fleeting.
You need more.
You always need more.
So it's not just about, like, vanity.
No.
It's deeper than that.
It's much deeper.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And we see this pattern in so many other areas.
I bet.
Like gadgets.
Yeah, okay, so tell me about that.
You're always chasing that next upgrade, right? But then it just becomes ordinary so quickly.
Yeah.
And then you want the next thing.
It's like that with everything, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Like we think, oh, if I just had more money,
oh, yeah,
then I would be happy.
The money illusion.
Yeah.
But, often what happens is
You just spend more?
lifestyle inflation.
Right.
You get used to it.
Exactly. And you're like back where you started.
Back at square one.
And what about vacations?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a big one too.
Yeah, because you spend all this time
Planning,
Yeah.
anticipating,
Yeah, looking forward to.
looking everything.
Yeah, and then you go.
You go and it's amazing.
It's great.
But then you come home and you're like,
And you have the post-vacation blues.
yes.
Yeah, you're back to reality.
And reality seems even worse
It does, doesn't it?
compared.
Because you had that taste of paradise.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then, boom, you're back.
It's so interesting how, like,
Our brains do this.
yeah, like no matter how amazing something is,
Yeah.
we just like adapt to it.
It's like a baseline.
Yeah.
It always brings us back.
So it's like we're fighting this losing battle.
In a way.
Yeah.
With our own biology.
But I don't want to say it's always a bad thing
Okay.
because hedonic adaptation, it does have its benefits.
Oh, okay. So, like, what are some of the upsides?
Well, I mean, think about it. If we were like euphoric all the time,
Yeah.
we might miss important cues about our environment.
Right. Like, we wouldn't be aware of danger.
Exactly. Or like on the flip side, if we were sad forever,
Yeah.
we'd never be able to function.
Really be stuck.
Stuck.
So it's like finding that balance.
Yes, it's about balance.
Okay, so it has its benefits, but
But in today's world,
yeah,
with, all the emphasis on material things and
and like status and all that.
yeah, it can lead to this like constant feeling of wanting more.
Never being satisfied.
Yeah, and not really appreciating what we have.
Right. So is there any way to like
Break free.
break free from this cycle?
Well, the good news is
Okay.
there are certain things that tend to bring more lasting joy. Okay, tell me more. Tell me more.
Because they actually fulfill like deeper needs.
Oh,
So it's not just about like the surface level pleasure.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's about something deeper.
Okay, so like what are some examples?
Well, let's start with relationships.
Okay.
Because those offer a sense of belonging, love, purpose,
Yeah.
which are like fundamental human needs.
Yeah, and those are like ongoing.
Right, exactly. It's not like a...
Like a new gadget that gets old.
Right, exactly. It's a different kind of...
Injection. And it can evolve and grow.
Absolutely. And it requires effort,
Yeah.
which actually keeps things engaging.
So it's not just like passive.
Right.
You have to actually work at it.
Yeah, and that effort actually contributes to the fulfillment.
I see.
And it gives you that security, that stability.
Which everyone needs, which we all need.
Yeah. So it's not about avoiding like
Yes.
change or new experiences,
Right.
but it's just like there's a different kind of deeper satisfaction.
That's less susceptible to that adaptation.
I see.
Okay, what about personal growth?
Oh, I love that. Tell me more.
Because that taps into our intrinsic motivation.
So it's like things that we enjoy doing
Yes.
just for the sake of doing them.
Exactly. And when we're engaged in those kinds of activities,
Hmm.
the sense of accomplishment is so much deeper
Yeah.
and it lasts longer.
I see. So it's not about like getting
The external reward.
the reward or the praise.
No, it's about the process,
Yeah.
the journey.
The journey. Yeah.
So think about like mastering a new language
Mhm.
or achieving a fitness goal.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of who you are.
Yeah.
It's not just something you experience.
It's like you build a sense of like mastery.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I did that.
Man, I could do this.
And then finally, there's purpose and meaning.
Ah, yes.
This is a big one.
This is huge.
So how do we cultivate that? So it's about connecting to something larger than ourselves.
Okay.
Something that gives our lives like direction,
Mhm.
significance.
Okay.
So that could be contributing to a cause you believe in,
Right.
doing work that feels meaningful,
Yeah.
or just living in alignment with your values.
So it's like finding something that really resonates with you.
Yes.
It makes you feel like you're
Making a difference.
contributing to something bigger.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's not about like just chasing pleasure.
No.
It's about something much deeper.
Much deeper. It's about fulfillment.
Yeah. And that seems like a really good
Antidote.
antidote to that
Adaptive.
hedonic adaptation.
Yeah.
So we've got relationships, personal growth, purpose, and meaning.
Those are the big ones.
But are there any like practical things we can do like day to day
Absolutely.
to kind of fight this?
Yeah. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, because it's easy to talk about these like
Big idea.
big ideas, but like how do we actually do it?
Right. So the article talks about a few strategies.
Okay.
Yeah. So the article talks about a few strategies.
Well, one that I hear about all the time is gratitude.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude's a big one.
It's like you hear it everywhere, right?
Okay.
But how does that actually help?
So gratitude is all about shifting our perspective
Go here.
instead of focusing on what we don't have.
What we're lacking.
Yeah, what we're lacking, what we want next.
Yeah.
We're focusing on what we already have.
Appreciating the good.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not just like a fleeting feeling.
No, it actually has like lasting benefits.
Really?
Yeah, there's research on it.
So like, what are some of the benefits?
Well, it can increase happiness,
Okay.
reduce stress, and even improve physical health.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, think positive thoughts.
No, it's really powerful.
So how do we actually, like, how do we practice gratitude?
So one way is to keep a gratitude journal where you write down a few things you're thankful for every day.
So you're like making yourself think about it.
Yeah, you're actively focusing on it.
And that actually like helps.
It can rewire your brain.
Wow.
Yeah, to focus on the positive.
It's like a muscle, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have to train it
You got to train it.
to see the good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else did the article talk about?
So another strategy is savoring.
Savoring.
So this is about like being fully present
Mm.
and really immersing yourself in enjoyable experiences.
So not just like letting them pass you by.
No, like really soaking it in.
Right.
So if you're having a delicious meal,
Yeah.
really taste all the flavors.
Yeah, slow down.
Slow down, yeah.
You be present.
If you're watching a beautiful sunset, really take in the colors.
Yeah, all the details.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like consciously,
Consciously extending the enjoyment.
yeah, instead of just like,
Letting it slip away.
oh, that was nice. And then on to the next thing.
Right, exactly.
Okay, what else can we do?
So another thing is to pursue variety.
Okay, variety, like new experiences.
Yeah, like shaking things up a bit.
So it's not about like being a thrill seeker,
No, not necessarily.
but just like little things to break up the routine.
Yeah, like try a new recipe,
Okay.
take a different route to work,
Yeah, I like that.
explore a new part of your city,
So just like little bursts of,
novelty,
novelty to keep things.
fresh.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Okay, and then finally,
So finally, focus on intrinsic goals.
intrinsic goals. Okay, remind me, what are those again?
So intrinsic goals are those that are driven by like
Mm-hmm.
a genuine interest or enjoyment in the activity itself
So you're doing it.
because you love it.
Yeah, not because of what you'll get out of it.
Exactly, not for the external rewards.
So like learning a new skill just because you're curious.
Yeah.
Or,
Spending time with loved ones because you love them.
yeah, okay, so focus on those.
Focus on those. Yeah.
And that can lead to more lasting happiness.
That's what the research suggests.
Because the journey itself is
Rewarding.
rewarding, yeah.
It's not just about the destination.
That's so interesting. This has
Yeah.
been like really eye-opening.
I'm glad.
I feel like I have a new perspective
Good.
on happiness and how to actually cultivate it.
Yeah, it's about understanding these forces
Mm-hmm.
and making choices that are aligned with what truly matters.
So it's not about like eliminating desire or ambition, but just like,
It's about like channeling it
yeah, channeling it in a way that,
in a healthy way.
in a healthy way, yeah.
So it's not about reaching this like magical endpoint
Of constant bliss.
What if-
It's about finding the joy
in the journey.
in the journey, yeah.
The article says it really well. Happiness isn't found at the end of the treadmill. It's
Mhm.
in the moments we choose to appreciate while we're on it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a really good reminder.
Yeah,
So we have the power to choose
we do.
what we focus on,
Absolutely.
what we savor,
Yeah.
what we appreciate.
And ultimately, what brings us joy.
Wow, this has been great. Thanks for breaking all this down for us.
Of course, my pleasure.
And for our listeners, what will you choose to appreciate today?